This is Radio TV Phononut, and welcome to another edition of Bubble Wrap Theater. Actually, what this video is about is an update on the last video concerning the radio that got busted in shipping because of poor packing. And this is pretty much how I received it, but we're not going to go into those details. You can watch the last video for that. Well, the last communication I got from the seller of this radio directed towards me was still wanting me to file a claim with the post office and pretty much telling me how rude I was. And then he got into a long sob story about because he messed up on the shipping calculations, he only made $1 off of the deal, and the only way I was going to get any money out of the deal was to either file a claim with the post office, or if it made me feel any better, I could escalate the eBay claim. And like I said previously, there's no need me filing a claim with the post office because there's no way in heck they would honor this. And as far as him losing money on the shipping, I don't care about that. That's not my problem. That's his mistake. In the past, I've made boo-boos on shipping. Sometimes I made some pretty big boo-boos on shipping, but I never punished the buyer for it. I never skimped out on packing, and I never asked for more money. Now, in his defense, he didn't ask me for money, but he certainly skimped on the packing. When I made a mistake, I covered it, and I learned to pay attention next time. Well, before I could escalate the claim with eBay, he filed a claim against me telling eBay that he packed the radio well enough for shipping, and there's no way that it should have sustained that kind of damage in shipment, and that he advised me to file a postal claim, and the reason I wouldn't do it is because the process would either take too long, or I just didn't want to fool with filing a claim, which was a total lie. Well, eBay sided with me, and I received the full purchase price of the radio back, including shipping, and he got left some rosy red negative feedback. Now, I've already received some flack on one of the antique radio groups that I'm in about leaving him bad feedback. In their opinion, it was pretty much, well, you got your money back, well, leave it alone. No, we're not going to leave it alone. The feedback system is there for a reason, and the feedback I gave said that radio arrived destroyed in shipping because of poor packing, and I had to get eBay involved to get my money back. Now, had the seller been more cooperative, I would have probably not left negative feedback had he done the right thing. Had this radio been packed like it should have been packed, I wouldn't have been riding the seller at all about it. I would have been on the post office like white on rice and made them cover it. But since the seller skimped and messed up, then I expected the seller to make good on it. And the seller wouldn't have made good on it had eBay not stepped in and said, no, 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 we're not doing this. You're going to give that guy's money back. So, that's that. Now, let me give you a few tips if you happen to be a buyer that finds yourself in the same situation as I'm in. To be honest, I can be a little hot-headed, and I'm sure many of you can be a little hot-headed, and when you're done wrong, it's very easy to lash out in anger and start cussing. Well, you don't want to do that whenever you're communicating with an eBay seller. You don't want to use any profanity at all, and you want to keep your communication polite but firm. And yes, there's a way you can be polite and yet let them know that you mean business at the same time. Also, don't make any threats. whether it be feedback threats or any other kind of threats. You don't want to do that either, because that can go against you. Finally, you want to take plenty of pictures of the damaged radio. You want to photo document everything and send that along to your communication with the seller, because when things get escalated, if things get escalated to an eBay claim, then all that will go in your favor. And if you've made threats or used any profanity, that can just go against you. So once again, be polite, but be firm. It'll help you out in the long run. Now, I know a lot of sellers don't like eBay buyer protection, and I can understand that, because you've got a lot of crooks out there that will file an eBay claim just to get the item for free, and then the seller pretty much has no recourse. And that's really the main reason I don't really want to sell on eBay. But in cases like mine, buyer protection is a godsend, because if I had to depend on the guy who sold me this to do the right thing, I'd probably be fighting over him until the end of time. Okay, there you go. Just thought I'd let you know how this turned out. Thanks to eBay buyer protection, I got my money back on this, and I suppose I can keep the radio because they didn't mention nothing about wanting it back. So there you go. Okay, a little programming note for this channel before we call it a day. As I'm sure you've found out by now, YouTube is doing away with the video editing program, and that's what I've been using for a long time now to make all these YouTube videos that I've been boring you to death with. And my computer is one of those that, like what Shango was talking about on his video concerning the subject, is my computer is sort of on its last leg, so I'm going to have to make a decision on what to do about that. I used Windows Movie Maker for a long time, and then whenever something happened to my computer and had to be worked on, now I can't get Movie Maker to work. It just gives me an error message and it won't start. And I've gone through all of the supposed fixes until I'm blue in the face, and I'm just tired of fooling with it. But I assure you, I might be gone for a little while, but I will come up with something, Lord willing, to keep these videos going. And a couple of upcoming videos that you'll be seeing in the future, I hope, include the repair of a 10-inch GE Portacolor TV and an RCA tape cartridge player from the late 1950s, as well as a lot of other things. So, you know, if you don't see me for a few weeks, you know, just know that I'm okay. It's just I'm trying to get these computer issues worked out, and when all that gets taken care of, then I should be back going full speed ahead, as they say. Alright, thanks for watching, and more to come later.